Hello. I am back, and I just wanted to have a quick chat with you. I don't know how quick it'll end up being, but I wanted to explain to you some of the difficulties that I've been having for the last, I don't know, after the holidays, things, for whatever the reason, seem to have become more complicated for me, where before I didn't gain any weight over the holidays, and I did truly indulge over the holidays, but I am struggling. So I had kind of an epiphany, if you maybe if I can call it that. I have been watching the Starch Solution. I don't know if any of you have heard of Dr. John McDoogle. This is his book. I will put up in here because it is backwards, and I don't want to turn the camera, flip the film, because I'll look like I have Bell's palsy or had a stroke. Anyway, so I'm going to put this in here. So it's Dr. John McDoogle, MD. He and his wife Mary have a 7 to 10 day plan where for people who want to lose weight, they discovered after 10 days of just eating one particular starch and making it half of their plate with that starch, the same thing, 3 meals a day, and the other half non-starchy vegetables, and eating until you're comfortably full. And if you're hungry again, then obviously, like in my case, I may have to eat more than 3 times a day because of my lap band, because when I start eating, in the case of, let's say, potatoes, that takes up a lot of volume. I wouldn't do rice because I'm not really a rice person, and rice, if it's not like a fried rice with some oil in it, tends to get stuck in my lap band, and I don't want to deal with anything like that. That wouldn't work for me. So I've decided, because I am so busy, certain days of the week I am very busy, and I get very overwhelmed with the tracking and the weighing and the measuring. Remember, I think the last video I made, I talked a lot about what to do when you're getting overwhelmed with tracking and so forth. So it's more than that for me. I am right now at this point in time also seeking to eat a whole food plant-based diet. There are different ways of going about accomplishing that. If you read Forks Over Knives, it's another book that I have. I can insert it here if I remember, where they actually show you how to become a vegan in the way where it's a process over time. You start with 7 days a week just having a vegan breakfast, or a vegetarian. I'm not sure. Let's go with vegetarian on that one. I'll stand corrected. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So you slowly move along, and by the end of a month's time, let's say, you now have accomplished vegetarianism. Okay? That isn't going to work for me. I have realized I'm just too busy in my life to be making recipes and doing this and that. I need something that's like a quick, healthy fix. And to me now, I tried to do this. I bought this book actually in September of 2021. I just noticed on Amazon when I went to look at the picture for the insert. And I tried it, and it did not work for me. They've changed it a little bit since then. Now you're allowed to have a fruit. So that means I can have my banana in the morning, or a cup of berries, or whatever I choose. I need that in my life. I also need in my life some condiments. As long as they don't have oil in them, they're good. So that means my GUs that I have an abundance of. See, it used to be they didn't want you to even salt the food, if I remember correctly. And if anybody knows about this plan and you want to let me know that I said something wrong, please feel free in the comments. But so those two things are a deal maker for me to be able to. Now my plan, I'm going to explain to you, is I'm not doing a Mary's Mini per se. I'm going to use that format, and I'm going to do that 4 to 5 days a week until I feel that I can incorporate maybe one meal a day where I'm weighing and measuring, and I'm moving on to beans, adding beans in and whatnot. But there'll definitely be 2 to 3 days a week where I am just eating regular, either vegetarian or vegan, because I really feel strongly in my heart of hearts I have to go vegan. I really, for my health, if I'm going to have any longevity and stay in decent health, I really need to make that move for my family history and what's important to me. And basically, in a nutshell, being a vegan is not eating anything that has a face or anything that is produced from a being that has a face. No honey because it comes from bees. No milk, no dairy because it comes from cows. Um, no eggs because it comes from chickens. So I have discovered I am not missing chicken at all. And I really only ate chicken in terms of I don't eat beef or any other. I've really stopped all of that. I really can live without fish as long as my body isn't wanting for it. If I'm getting the proper nutrition into my body, and let's face it, everybody will tell you, any realistic person will say, if you do something between 80 and 100% of the time, especially my Dr. Gregor that I love the most, he gives the list. And I tell you the truth, I downloaded his app. It has the daily dozen that he asked you to do. And then there's another part of that app that is the 27 tweaks that goes along with it. But even if you just hit most of the daily dozen every day, you're really that further ahead of the game. And it doesn't require you to be a vegetarian or a vegan. It's just helpful hints based on research that he's reviewed of people who have done well, lost weight, staying healthier, etc., have seemed to have done this daily dozen. So I made it all complicated for myself. I finally said yesterday, okay, you'll see 2 more videos coming out of what I eat in a day. I have not been able to edit them yet, but I did yesterday try to just go in and click off, and it was so much easier than I thought. I made it a big deal. A lot of what I do, I make a big deal, and that's why right now I'm so overwhelmed that I think that this is the ticket to helping me, because I can just focus on, okay, half of my dish is going to be either quinoa and then non-starchy veg, or I see in the Mary's Mini, they ask you to pick one starch and stick with it, and you have the choice of corn, rice, brown rice, sweet potato, white potato. So I can't do white potato in and of itself. I've tried that in my life, and I get symptoms of gout because white potatoes are nightshades, and if I have too much of that and it's not mixed in with other foods, I can make myself in a lot of pain, and I'm not interested in doing that again. I did do the potato diet. The potato diet is not Mary's Mini. If you like, you can look that up on your own. Anyway, so I'm going to be combining potatoes, sweet potato, because I have some left, my Japanese sweet potato, which I cannot live without, and I've also bought some yellow potatoes. And I have a big pot boiling on my stove right now as I'm chatting with you in preparation for doing at least the next 4 days of Mary's Mini type eating. So even if I also made some quinoa this morning, so I will be having quinoa with some vegetables, and quinoa has a lot of protein in it, which I think I really need. So I will be probably mixing in either day by day or however I alternate the meals with the quinoa to the potatoes. You can use, as I said, the condiments that do not, so that means I can make my delicious, that I love, my variations of Skinny Girl minus the sodium. And you can just use vinegar. You can use, as I said, GUs I have an abundance of, and so I would like to finish it and get rid of it and get it out of my life, because I can make my own teriyaki sauce without oil. So and get that artificial maltodextrin stuff. I'm trying to steer clear of all of that. I also found, which I'm going to insert the picture of because I forgot to bring it into this room with me to show you, is Garden of Life, which I used to drink years ago, religiously drink every day in the morning with raw kale in it, believe it or not. Garden of Life makes a plant-based protein. It's a vegan protein shake mix. It's 120 calories per serving, and it's unflavored. It has no sweetener in it. So, because inevitably they make all these good products and then they shove something like maltodextrin in there. Now, this particular one also makes it with stevia, but I wanted it to be plain so that I can make it savory. I could choose to drink it on its own, or and it packs 22 grams of protein, and it's all raw foods. what's in there and organic. So it cannot possibly be something that would hurt me. And that would be a way for me to easily boost my protein for the day. And I did have it today, and it was good. I just put some pistachio flavoring in and a pack of monk fruit. And it wasn't sweet. I wanted to see, because I wasn't going to be home when I drank it, so I figured I better sweeten it just a little bit. You know what? It went down smoothly. I'm very happy with it. I'm happy I got it. And I plan to use that to supplement my protein. And 120 calories for that amount of protein is a calorie bargain. At least I think so. So that is the plan. I probably will do shorts if I do anything at all on these days when I'm doing what I'll call my adaptation of the Mary's Mini. And I guess I'll just leave it at that. I also am trying to incorporate turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon, into my life, because according to Dr. Gregor on his 27 tweaks, I have organic turmeric. I put it into my quinoa, 1/4 teaspoon in 2 servings of quinoa that I will have as 2 meals is no big deal. I also seasoned the quinoa, and I was excited to be using my Weight Watchers little rice cooker. I finally broke it out after I've had it since the fall or early winter. Ridiculous that I am. I always do these things. So now it's a part of my counter, and I'm really excited about that because it works beautifully. And also what you can do with your potatoes is you can make them into hash browns. You can boil them. You can roast them. You can put ketchup on them. So as long as I love potatoes. I also love quinoa. So I'm blessed. I say this. I'm blessed that I love to drink water. This for me is like, could be potentially, life-saving. I don't know. I'm going to give it my try. I say all the time, we get one go around. I don't want to regret. I don't want to have regrets that I could have done something better and I put myself in a bad situation medically. We're all going to die. It's a fact of life. We all know that. We would like to be here longer, but I want to be here longer in good health without being burdensome, without ending up in a nursing home like my grandmother did. Not my mom's mother, my dad's mother, who I really take after. So she lived to be 83, but what kind of a life did she have for the last maybe 20 years of her life? She was wheelchair bound because of having spinal osteoarthritis. I already have arthritis, but that doesn't mean that I can't be more anti-inflammatory in my eating. Eating healthier overall is going to do great things for all of our bodies. We're all going to end up with some processed food in our lives. It is a fact. If I have to go to a party, my grandchildren are having their graduation, okay? July 1st is the party. I could bring my own food. I would already know that there's going to be healthy food there as well, unless she has a caterer, which she probably is going to. I don't know. I haven't asked, but I could bring a big tossed salad, and I could bring my dressing. I have no problem doing these things. I've done it many times. But there are also times like, what if you have to go to a wedding? Are you going to start bringing food to a wedding? I guess you could, but am I going to really feel like doing that is the question. Are you going to feel like doing that? So let's put in our minds that no matter what healthy food plan we're doing, that there are going to be times where we have to make exceptions to our rules. And that way, when the time comes, it won't be devastating. Oh my God, all the guilt. And tomorrow, this is the end now. This is the excuse to just trash everything. I know for myself, I'm going in the wrong direction if I do not do something, because of the fact that I am tired, I'm worn out of trying different things, and my weight is not changing. Does it have to change ultimately? No, it does not. But it's bothering me because my concern is, well, if it's not changing now and it starts to go up, what is the likelihood of it going back down again? So that's where I'm coming from with all of this. This is not about vanity, and I'm wearing my same clothes, okay? But it is about health, seeking the best health I can have for a person my age at this stage of the game. I think I'm doing very well. That could all change in a heartbeat. We all know that. But I could be doing a whole lot better. So I'm preparing myself to take that plunge. And I hope you'll share in my journey with me, or continue to share. to see how it all works out. If it doesn't work out, guess what? We go to plan B, whatever that is at that time. We don't sit here and say, oh my God, people are going to be upset I'm making a change. I think that I'm still in the spirit of what I've been talking about for almost a year now that I have not accomplished. When I went in July back to Weight Watchers of last year, and started to attend meetings again and all of that good stuff, which I've not been doing. That's another problem. I really do miss my Michelle. I miss my meetings with her. I miss the people. And that is something I'm working on, trying to see how I could at least maybe do every other week. See, we used to have a Sunday morning 9 a.m. with Michelle on Zoom, which was perfect, because on weeks that I had to alternate, I could, and now I would be able to do that easily, but they took it away, unfortunately. And myself going to a meeting, I've been to meetings and just chosen a coach, and yeah, that's wonderful and great, but it's not my Michelle. It's not my Sue, the guide, and a few other lovely people that I know as guides. It's not. So I'm very spoiled. I will admit to this. Is it to my detriment that I don't? No, I hang out in the app and I hang out in our Facebook group. And if I need Michelle, I can message her. I know she's just such a wonderful, she's my shining star, I call her. But today I met with my ladies in the UK who are equally important to me. They are so lovely. I just so enjoy being, I feel like Zoe, our leader, says she's welcoming me home. There's a part of me that feels like I've gone home after a year of not being with them. And I don't think it's odd. I just think that when you connect with people, regardless of what plan they're on, it doesn't matter. We're all trying to do the same thing, get healthy. That you just miss the connection. So today we had our meeting and we talked about using ball jars. In the States, they're canning jars. I forgot what they're called, something else where they have that rubber around them and then they lock with a metal lock. Oh, why is it not coming to me? Home Goods in the States probably has them at a reasonable price. If you wanted to use them to build salads and make, a pretty salad, and use them for meal prep to take with you. We talked all about that. We talked about making breakfast, like overnight oats. And also I know that a lot of people like to use chia seeds and make overnight breakfast with that. And also building salads, different kinds of salads. What would you put in a salad? And also desserts can go in there. You can use yogurt. In Great Britain, they have something called quark, which is kind of like a cream cheese. I'm kind of envious that I can't get that here, because I'm sure it would be delicious. But my days of eating yogurt are now pretty much behind me, but that doesn't mean every so often I won't have one. I'm not going to put limits on myself like that, because that is dangerous for me. This is Maxie, by the way. You've met her before. She's joining us. They all love to be, depending what room I'm in, somebody has to show up to be in a video. Right, Max? You're a good girl. So anyway, pardon me, because I got some of your hair is on my lip. Anyway, so last week we talked about the benefits of drinking water and being hydrated. These themes are recurring themes. We do that in Weight Watchers as well. We talk about food prep, and we talk about the importance of eating fruit, what fruit does for us nutritionally, vegetables, and why talk about it again and again? Because sometimes you just need a little bit of a reminder. I don't know how you feel about it, but you kind of, out of sight, out of mind, we get away from doing things and we kind of forget about them. We start off doing them all, and then maybe some of them drop off as we go along. So it's good to have a refresher course on these things, because it puts it foremost in our mind. And that's the only way, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of tea. Also on Dr. Gregor, he talks about having 3 cups. This is backwards, but I'm going to tell you it's green tea. You don't need me to put a picture of it in there. So this is green tea decaf, and it's good to have 3 cups of green tea a day. Well, how am I going to do that if I don't actually make it, right? If I don't put it out where I'm going to see it. So today I bought this green tea. This is caffeinated, blueberry and acai flavors. Acai is supposed to have a lot of good antioxidant properties. So I figured this would be nice to make as a cold tea with the blueberry. And then maybe this I could have as a hot tea. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go. I did make it as a cold tea as well. You could add lemon to it. You could add stevia to it. You could add monk fruit, allulose, whatever your sweetener of choice is. Then I also have something. This can be ordered on Amazon. Stash. This is sweet honeydew. This is delicious. I don't need to sweeten it, but if you did sweeten it, you would taste like you're eating honeydew. I don't know if this melon is called honeydew in the UK, but it's Japanese style green tea, and it's got honeydew flavoring in it. It's really good for you, and it tastes yummy. And then I have also matcha tea, which is supposed to be very good for you. This is supposed to help. This is Japanese matcha with mint, and this helps you focus. The Buddhist monks use it when they focus during meditation, to be alert and present in the moment. It has okay, so green tea whose chlorophyll rich leaves are finely ground into a brilliant green powder, prized for its abilities. So also chlorophyll, I think if you're a vegan, you're missing the omega-6, I want to say, or it might either 6 or 3, don't quote me on that. So you have to supplement with something. I have to look it up because I'm going to have to buy it. I think it's seaweed. So there's different ways of getting seaweed into yourself. If you like nori, you can chop it up and put it in a salad. That's what they make sushi wrap with, the green wrap. But that's something I have to look into. I'm already taking my extra B12s, so I'm not worried about that. But it is important to make sure that you're supplementing properly. If you're doing a change in your diet, whatever that change may be, you need to look up whatever you may be missing if you cut a food group out. So that's about it. I'm excited. I'm feeling like I'm going to be doing this honeymoon restart thing because I've taken so much pressure off my head. I cannot tell you how much pressure I've been feeling under, because I am just not, I'm like just going like the hamster in the wheel. I'm just spinning my wheels, and I know what I want to do, and I was so stuck in how to get there. Well, the only way I think for me right now to get there is to do this, my version of Mary's Mini, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I lose any weight next week, because supposedly if you do this Mary's Mini, you will lose a good amount of weight in a short time, and you will feel full the entire time that you're doing it. You will not be hungry. You'll feel satisfied. Potatoes and starch make, I don't know how you feel, me much more satisfied than meat. Because when I did do, for a short stint, a very short stint, keto, I look for dairy. I look for cheese. That's not keto. Keto is eating fat. So, which is, I don't want to be keto. I don't have a desire. I really would love to not eat anything with a face on it ever again. Does that mean I wouldn't eat an egg if it came from a free-range chicken in the area where I live, or honey from the area where I live, which I happened to meet a gentleman who told me all about bees and how we make honey in this country. Believe me, if you got to talk to this man, you wouldn't have honey ever again. But he also did educate me on a local person who is very, very protective of his bees, that they not be exposed to any pollutants. And I know exactly where to go to buy that honey, because honey is very good for you if you have sinus problems and allergies, that you start taking it. I think it's in the end of October, beginning of November. 1 tablespoon a day is very, very good for you in terms of your immune system. So in this area where I live, because we have local honey, many people do that. So I will be in the fall buying this person's honey, definitely. So that would be an occasion where I know where the bees are, I know how well they're cared for, and that the honey that I will be getting is an optimal in terms of nutrition and the value it has for my health, at the top of the list. Can't get any better than that, can you? So, yeah, this is, I'm good with this. I'm not even so much concerned about the scale right now as I am about getting my eating in an organized, healthy situation here. That's really what I'm looking toward right now, because I know the rest will come. Based on the reviews that I've done, I have so many of these books, and I have been watching so much YouTube again to refresh myself, that there is no way I can go wrong, even if I become a vegetarian and eat fish once in a while and have a few eggs here and there. So that the difference between that and being, you can also be a vegan and be very unhealthy in your eating. But even if I stayed in the vegan circle of eating and bought things that only said they're certified vegan, I still would be a lot ahead of the game if I did basically what whole food plant-based eating and had some of that other stuff. I'd still be miles ahead of myself of where I've come. So that's my line of thinking at this point. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, because I've talked for over 26 minutes. And I'm going to tell you that I hope to bring you some shorts to show you what I'm doing. And I will definitely let you know how I'm doing. And look forward to 2 more videos coming out. I will tell you that the end of the day, yesterday and the day before, did not go well for me. And this is another reason why I'm so concerned about getting a grip, is because at the end of the day, I was hungry. I just got hungry, and I ate bread and I ate cheese sticks, low-fat cheese sticks, but still not what I wanted to be eating. And then I got into the almond butter, which, you know, there's no reason for me to be hungry. So I have to regroup, and I'm confident that I will make good strides, because when I put my mind to something, I'm the type of person that doesn't stop until I accomplish it. And I also made a friend who, Joanne, if you happen to catch this video, she's in our Weight Watchers group with Michelle that you just joined, and she is from England, and she works for the British consulate in Manhattan, and she lives probably maybe 40 minutes away from me, and she's doing plant-based eating. She's a vegan. So I'm excited to have met her. She's Weight Watchers, and that's how she keeps her weight in check, but she is doing exactly what I want to be and has offered to help me. So I'm really excited about that. And so on that note, I'm going to say goodbye again. Please, please start doing some of the things that you need to do. If you can't do them all in one day, then you can't. But one thing a day you can do. You have to do. I implore you to please do one thing a day to take care of yourself, because we only get one go around. And I really want for everyone else what I want for myself. I want us to be healthy, to live long, and not live long in a nursing home or wheelchair, or to have so many comorbidities that we no longer have a good quality of life. You know, you can be a young person and be in that boat. You don't have to be as old as me. And if you're already there, then you even more so need to get yourself in order somehow, some way. Just keep putting it out there that you're going to do it, and don't ever give up. So one thing so that you can start to be well. Just one thing. Please. Okay? I'll see you again soon. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It does not cost you anything. I don't know who you are if you leave the group. And I promise you, you will not be divulging like any of your personal information to me. Okay? Talk to you soon. Sending you all hugs.